Have you ever wondered if sites like this are a modern phenomenon? I have. I've even looked into it. I certainly haven't found any reference to sites like this any earlier than the 1980s. Has this got anything to do with the title? Of course it has, as you will find out. If you enjoy this episode, please give it a like and why not share it with your friends? Okay, let's go. First of all, for those of you who are not native English speakers, you might not be familiar with the metaphor belt and braces. The literal meaning is quite clear, as you can see here. If you are wearing belt and braces, you can be doubly sure that your trousers will stay up. Here is a dictionary definition of belt and braces. It means that people being extra careful and taking extra precautions, a belt and braces approach, a belt and braces policy, and so on. But if you, like most people, wear a belt or braces, what is it that determines your choice? Let's look back at the recent history of these two methods of avoiding unfortunate trouser episodes. Both of these methods have been around throughout human history, but let's look at the more recent development. Let's start with braces. Modern trouser braces, or suspenders as they are commonly known, have origins dating back to at least to the early 18th century, although who invented them is uncertain. By the way, braces is a term that is more common in British English, while suspenders is more common in the USA. And a word of warning to American visitors to the UK, don't ask for suspenders in a British shop unless you really want these. Braces started as a functional solution for keeping high-waisted trousers in place, which were common during the 18th century. These early suspenders were typically attached to trousers with buttons rather than clips, and were worn underneath waistcoats, as showing them was considered improper. They were underwear, after all. The English designer Albert Thurston is credited with popularising modern braces around 1820. Thurston's braces had an H-back design, which later evolved into the X-back and the Y-back styles, which were made functional and yet stylish. During the 19th century, braces were widely worn by men of all social classes. They were especially useful for high-waisted trousers of the time, which made belts both impractical and uncomfortable. In the 1920s and 30s, as trouser waistlines lowered and belt loops became more common, braces saw a decline, but they remained popular for formal wear. Braces enjoyed a brief resurgence in the 1970s among certain subcultures like British skinheads, and as a fashion statement for power dressing in the 1980s. At this time, colourful and patterned braces became popular. Underwear or not, these braces were for showing off. In the mid-20th century, casual wear was becoming more common, and belts fit better with the casual, slimmer look. Also, lower-waisted trousers and jeans made belts more practical, as the weight of the trousers is supported by the belt, which is in turn supported by the hips. However, lower waistlines have less play in them if you bend over, and this is the reason for what is often called the workman's smile or builder's crack that we saw at the beginning of this video. Low-waisted trousers are bound to ride down when you bend over, and high-waisted trousers with a belt also tend to slide down and produce this unfortunate result. Sometimes it is intended that trousers should ride down like here. Luckily, this seems to have been a very short-lived fashion, at least where I live. Apart from being phenomenally ugly, it is also incredibly impractical. It's my impression that high-waisted trousers are coming back into fashion, and maybe they will become mainstream yet again. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. So I suppose the rule should be, with high-waisted trousers, wear braces. With low-waisted trousers, wear a belt. But if you're doing work that involves a lot of bending over, don't wear low-waisted trousers. Nobody really wants to see what you've got on underneath, or if you've got nothing on underneath. If in doubt, wear both belt and braces, as in the metaphor. Better safe than sorry. Bye for now.